Yo,
No.
when you're watching Two Guys, One Belt, there's just a few things you got to do. You got to hit the subscribe button down below. Don't forget, it's a big red button. You can't miss it.
Rule number 2, you got to love Luke Harper and Kofi Kingston.
Maybe. Well, we will. If you don't, I get. When you're on Twitter, you search at Two Guys, One Belt, and you hit the button that says follow. And then when you're on Facebook, you search Two Guys, One Belt, and you hit the button that says like. That's all you got to do when you're watching Two Guys, One Belt. And then after the show, go check out GetScared.tv. Look at all the great content on there, but most importantly, the best content, Two Guys, One Belt.
Better fucking do it. Raw review / recap / whatever the hell we want to say, because we have our own show from the April 13th edition of WWE Monday Night Raw, which took place in London, England, righto.
So Raw UK.
I think the first time in 18,000 weeks we had a segment where the Authority wasn't on the kickoff.
We get the next most typical thing.
Most bullshit thing. But I do love the London crowd's reaction every time John Cena comes out with the bwah, bwah, nah, bwah. John Cena sucks. Mr. United States Champion himself, John Cena, issues another
US Open Challenge.
US Open Challenge. And who comes out besides crowd favorite local hero? He wasn't even announced as Bad News Barrett. He was announced as Wade Barrett, I'm pretty sure.
And he didn't even do, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Yeah. It was a very slow match. I thought it was going to be a pretty good match because Wade Barrett's usually pretty good, and John Cena has his moments.
Behind him, you think he'd be all excited and they'd do something big, but
it was kind of a slow, not really interesting match to start off the show.
Have had matches before that weren't bad by any means.
Yeah,
so
especially you think this would be a pretty high-paced or a fast-paced match because it's the opening segment and there wasn't that much talking, but it wasn't.
The real problem I have with this is Bad News Barrett is the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
And he's going for the United States Championship this week. And we got literally 0 build to the Intercontinental title match this week.
I'm going to give it a thumbs up for the crowd reaction because I love their crowd reaction to Cena and the good pop they got from Wade Barrett. But I'm going to give it the thumb down because the match was pretty terrible.
I mean, it's a very easy rating here. Thumbs up, thumbs down. There was good, but there was bad. So.
And then we had the #1 contenders Diva Battle Royal.
Which we just got some news that I just recently told Zach that literally made this Battle Royal
pointless.
Pointless, yes, of course. Paige and Naomi, the final two, and Paige eliminated her, and she is now the new #1 contender for the Divas Championship. But there's a twist. Paige, I guess, is going to go film a movie.
Yeah.
News to us. After the match, Naomi attacks her, beats her up pretty bad. Heel turns, I guess.
I was going to say that was the only good thing it accomplished was a heel turn.
Which, good for Naomi. She got a heel turn. But I guess according to WWE.com, Paige is injured.
I don't know if it's Jimmy or Jey Uso is hurt and is going to be out for 6 months. So
this was, I guess, Naomi's send-off
to be by herself as being probably the top heel in the Divas division. Other than Nikki, I'd have to assume. But what are you going to do? Have heel versus heel at a pay-per-view?
I guess you or turn the bell's face since AJ Lee is gone.
I'm going to go ahead and give it a half and a down.
Just evens because there was good and bad, and it was outweighed each other.
Yeah, I still think there was more bad than good in the match. There was a couple good spots, but some of the spots were executed very, very terribly. A pretty pointless match in my opinion, except getting over the Lucha Dragons. But it was Lucha Dragons versus the Ascension. And the Ascension is still as awful as they've ever been.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Dragons do end up winning.
I mean, no more Usos. You got to have another high-flying tag team in there. So I guess they put in the Lucha Dragons, and they're rolling.
I'm gonna give my quick opinion on the Lucha Dragons. I love Kalisto, but I feel like Sin Cara brings him down. Sin Cara is just not as good, but you have to have another Lucha with him. So I mean,
do they think they need to find another Lucha, or even just find another? Doesn't even have to be a Lucha, just another partner.
I think you could have Kalisto with somebody else.
So all right. Next we get the
Roman Reigns promo where Booker T was the one.
Booker T was interviewing him. I guess I don't even know.
And it was his first interview since
WrestleMania 3 weeks ago. He's just now talking.
But he's been on TV. I don't know. He calls up Big Show. They have Big Show's on the Jumbotron. They're going back and forth, back and forth.
And then
the terrible part is when Big Show comes out.
This is the bad part.
Throws him into the little English car that's there and choke slams him on top of it, which was not a very good choke slam
at all. No, it didn't look vicious whatsoever.
But the crowd's chant of "Please retire" was pretty good.
It was probably the highlight, yes.
Yeah.
For me personally, they could have just done without the physical thing. They could have had it maybe backstage later in the show even.
Yeah, just like right on top of it.
Right on top was stupid. I didn't mind the interaction they had on the mic with Big Show on the Tron and Roman on the mic. Well, actually, it wasn't awful. It was
all right. I mean, Roman should be going after bigger and better things, like a Seth Rollins. Or even a John Cena, for Christ's sake.
Right.
How cool would that be? Turn one of those guys heel. And I'll say it again. Big Show isn't a stepping stone anymore. He's
not. I will say this. I'm going to go out on a limb. Other than this crappy feud that they are giving Roman Reigns right now,
he's been making the best of what he's been given.
I believe the next champion, whenever that is, whether it's a year from now, 10, I don't care. Whenever the next champion is, the next person they want to put on the belt, I believe it should be Roman Reigns. I'm fully...
Shake on it.
Shake on it.
So next we had the worst match of all time. It was Randy Orton versus Cesaro and Tyson Kidd in first it was just Cesaro versus Randy Orton.
And then Kane came out, and I guess since the Authority's not there...
If Randy wins this match, he gets to decide a stipulation for his and Seth's Extreme Rules match. Tyson Kidd tried to interfere, which actually Randy interfered with him, so it was kind of weird how it all happened.
It was all stupid, and it happened I don't know how the disqualification happened. I don't get it.
Randy won by DQ, but then Kane comes out and says, you have to finish the match. It's now a no DQ 2-on-1 handicap match, which is cool, I guess.
Which was a good idea, especially since they're tag team champions.
Exactly.
It was
so
cool.
He's got to be both the tag team champions.
I know you hate Cesaro, but...
With a burning, fiery passion.
But... This actually was a bad match simply because of all the damn botches they were having. It was an ugly-looking handicap match. And you can tell Randy did not... He kind of trusted Cesaro, but didn't really trust Tyson Kidd.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You can't put it on... You can blame Cesaro all you want, because I hate that guy. But you can't put the blame on Randy Orton.
They just didn't come to play. They had an opportunity to go up against a main eventer in this handicap match and try to look good as heels and everything like that, and it didn't work. I'm just going to go...
2 thumbs down.
I'm going to go a half and a down.
I'm going to go 2 downs because Cesaro's awful.
No, I'm going to go half and a down. Okay,
down.
Stop. Half and a down. I'm going to go half and a down. God damn it. 2 thumbs down, I guess, is what my rating is.
So the worst match tonight was Dean Ambrose versus Adam Rose.
This was
without the bunny.
Match.
Where's the bunny? Hashtag
I don't care about the bunny.
Give the bunny a chance.
You know what I said? I say bunnies have short lifespans. He's already dead.
Hashtag give the bunny a chance. The good part about this match is Dean Ambrose actually won and didn't have to job to Adam Rose for some unknown reason.
But it was such an awful match. It was slow. You could tell Dean was, he felt like he was getting the shit, so he just didn't care.
That's pretty much what happened, yeah. We'll go ahead and give it 2 thumbs down.
2 thumbs down. Yeah.
And then, one of the better matches of the night, in my opinion, not for the wrestling-wise, but after it.
Short, but yeah.
We had Fandango
versus your boy, Stardust.
Stardust won. But the segment after, the little short segment they had, circled around
I guess
Fandango.
Rosa was trying to, dance with him, and Fandango was like,
yeah,
no.
He goes, you're dragging me down. And then the best part, and the European audience loved this.
I just wanted to dance or something like that.
I just want to dance. And then he goes back to his
and he started doing the Fandango. I guess we went into a time machine in 2013, the night after WrestleMania, and Fandangoing, I guess, is back.
Yeah. I'm half
and a down.
And a half. Now, this segment that we're rolling into
this was
next,
interesting.
Go ahead and let us know what happened.
This was kind of interesting. So, it was supposed to be Seth versus Dolph, and then obviously Randy Cesaro, and if whoever won got to pick the stipulations. Seth was trying to convince Kane, hey, I don't want to face Dolph. Let me face Jamie Noble. And then Kane was like, no, I can't face Noble. All this stuff, and then Seth ensued that it should be Kane versus Seth, and Kane should lay down for him. Well, we thought we were going to see Finger Poke of Doom 2.0, and Kane gets out there, and we saw a little bit of hint of Demon Kane, it looked like.
I thought it was a pretty cool concept where Kane's kind of, maybe the next person to leave the Authority.
Yeah, right, absolutely.
Seeing as the rest of the members of the Authority haven't been on screen in a while.
So then Kane chokeslams Seth and then lays down and just puts Seth armed over him.
Well, first he would look like he was going to pin him, which I was like, oh, here we go, he's going to pin him. But then he just got on his back and he grabbed says something. I'm actually going to give this segment 2 thumbs up.
I'm not giving it 2 thumbs up. Oh, no. I mean, I'll give it up a 3.5, my highest rating. Simply because it was good storytelling. It was good storytelling. It was
great storytelling. It was creative. It wasn't something that we've seen anytime recently.
No.
And it gives hope for the future that maybe the authorities imploding from inside. Yes. Yeah.
What I really wanted to see is Kane getting his final run as Demon Kane. And, obviously...
and that's another bonus.
The chance of please retire for the Big Show. Maybe we see Big Show versus Kane in a retirement match. That was my call. I mean, obviously, that's very specific and everything like that.
But I think if that ever happened, you'd have to go Demon Kane. I think that's the route they're taking anyways.
Yeah,
next segment of the night is something that's been overdone a few times in the past couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah.
We had Mizdow versus Miz.
Again.
Miz comes out first on Raw, and then right after, guess who comes out? Mizdow and Summer Rae, and he is...
I guess they're a thing now.
Yeah, but they're a thing now, but the Miz and Mizdow aren't together anymore, but Damien Sandow is still Mizdow. It's just... confusing.
It's confusing and it's repetitive.
And you're throwing Summer Rae in.
And now you're throwing Summer Rae in to promote a movie. It's
just kind of all of it together could have been executed a lot better. A half a thumb for my first one and a thumbs down. The thumbs down is basically for the confusing factor.
Right. And I'm going to go up a thumbs up and a thumbs down because they're doing something with it, something different with Summer Rae and everything like that, and I can respect that writing-wise.
Yeah.
But I'm giving a thumbs down because of that confusion, because of the repetitiveness of seeing the same thing now for weeks and weeks and weeks. And we're not seeing that character development for Mizdow. It's just ridiculous.
He's still Mizdow, but he needs to change if they're going to change him. You never freaking know.
You have Ryback versus Luke Harper.
The best motherfucking wrestler there's ever been in the history of fucking WWE. Go fuck yourself.
The only thing that this match did was set up an attack by Dean Ambrose on Luke Harper after.
Which...
Okay, at least it's a mid-card feud.
I mean, I understand why. Like, he kind of attacked him because he ruined his shot at the IC because throw him in the ladder and stuff like that. Kind of but
like I said, it makes sense and it's good for those guys to get something like this.
But you can't have two guys who dress identical feud against each other all the time.
And act identical. They're kind of like almost the same character almost.
Yeah, like Dean's a loud version and... Luke is a quiet version
of a crazy person. On 2 thumbs down simply because I don't remember much from it, and that's not good.
Well, I'm going to go 2 thumbs up because I remember every waking moment of Luke Harper's career.
Now we have finally something we can talk about. We can be happy to talk about.
I think they learned their lesson from having him on the beginning of the show towards the end of the show.
Yes, so now you can keep the crowd wanting to be like, oh, when's he coming out?
Yeah, keep him active. And... it makes the end of the show more exciting. Go ahead and let us know what match it was.
So Dolph's not facing Seth, so he goes out there, cuts a quick promo, and says, okay, well, who's my opponent? And now comes Adrian.
No, Neville! Just Neville.
Oh, yeah, right, we're not smart enough.
He legally took off his first name.
We're not smart enough for 2 names, I forgot.
Yeah, even though the announce team, Michael Cole, kept calling him Adrian Neville all night.
Yeah, and also... we don't know where he's from either. He's just the man that Gravity forgot.
He's the man that Gravity forgot from parts unknown. Damn, has he had one of the best starts in the past, I'd say since the Shield.
Since the Shield. I would probably agree with that.
Even better than the Wyatts.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say since the Shield, maybe even before them.
If you take about the first 3 weeks the Wyatts had, the first 3 weeks the Shield had, and the first 3 weeks Neville had.
Yeah.
Neville can go up with either of those. The teams can go up against either of those teams.
This one guy.
They're almost doing it perfect. What they are is, first of all, they haven't said one word yet.
That's what I was just about to say.
Which is completely fine. Because
which is awesome.
Which is in rework is amazing, so he doesn't really need to talk, but I want to see him talk at some point, obviously.
I do too, but I thought about it like after his... first match, I was kind of like, well, why didn't he talk and stuff like that? But now you're getting kind of this mystery aspect to him.
Right.
He's just facing random opponents right now,
which is
good. Yeah, and it's showing the caliber of talent. If he makes Dolph Ziggler look like the second best wrestler in that match,
Dolph Ziggler won, and I am completely okay with that. You want to know why? Because they're going against the grain.
He hasn't won.
Rusev debuted and didn't lose a match for a whole entire year.
Bo Dallas went 16-0.
Yes. Why
Where's
does
he at
every
now?
guy have to debut and just keep winning and winning and winning? Neville looked great even without winning. And not only that, he kept having momentum, and then finally zigzag and he lost. So it was like,
He has such high intensity when he's in the ring, and he's really bringing it. The crowd loves it.
Everything Neville has done so far has been literally perfect. They haven't missed a step. They literally have not missed a step with him yet.
But
it's perfect.
I think the big test with him coming up is who's he going to feud against first.
And I think at this point you can go 2 more months without him feuding against anybody. He's
could,
fine.
But then you're going to run out of options.
No, I don't think they will. I really think it's going to be hard for them to screw this up. After the match, Sheamus comes out, and him and Dolph have a brawl. So it looks like we got that feud going. Sheamus.
See, I would have liked Sheamus Neville.
Yeah, but see, then you're giving Neville too much early. I think you have to. You're just patient. Stay patient with this guy. Slow it down. He's got time. Slow it down. Dolph versus Sheamus, I'm actually completely cool with, especially because I think they're going to put on a great show at Extreme Rules. Whatever match they have.
I thought it was good that they just didn't throw Sheamus right into a title match or a title feud.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually cool with that too.
That was pretty good. I do.
This segment. But
this was a whole 15-20 minutes of them talking. That should have been done in the first part of the show, because they didn't have that in the first part of the show. Instead, they did it the opposite, and then they had it at the end of the show. But anyways,
like I said, segments can work at the end, but not this one. This one was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, let's
terrible.
Go ahead and rate it before we discuss it.
Down. It was boring.
I'm gonna give it a down and a half.
It wasn't like it was executed that bad. It was just really boring.
It was really boring.
It was just boring. Like when the show ended, I was like, oh, that's it?
If you didn't see it, pretty much it was Seth out in the ring with J&J Security and Lazy Boys.
They were going to announce their stipulation to each other.
And Randy came out.
They each got to pick one, I guess.
And the dumbest of them all was the first one that Seth took. Seth said, Randy, you're banned from using the RKO move, or you're disqualified from the match.
Randy made it a steel cage match, and that was Seth's retaliation, I guess.
Everybody knows Seth's going to win. How can you possibly have a finish? I would have rather
had him been like, J&J, I want J&J Security along my side and make it a 3-on-1 handicap match. I'd be cool with that. But you ban the RKO, the thing people want to see, to end the show like this.
And then Randy saying the steel cage, which that's okay.
Steel cage is okay, yeah.
You should have made it more of like... maybe an I Quit match or something like that.
When I thought, okay, these guys are both going to see
maybe a lumberjack match.
Like we're both going to see stipulations. Like we're probably going to see like a double match variation where it's like
do a lumberjack strap match or something like that.
Something like that.
Let's go ahead and rate the show as a whole.
Rate the show as the whole. I'm going a half and a down.
I'm going to go up and a down.
I said this to you last night, and I stand by this. WWE always has a tough time the few months after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because they need the people that did great at WrestleMania to keep doing great, or at least the people they care about. So if everything becomes very predictable these last few months. What happened last year is they had something good last year. They had the Shield versus Evolution.
Yeah.
So they had something good last year to work off of. They just don't now. They don't have anything to go off from WrestleMania except for Neville, but he's not a main event player yet or a big star yet.
That is the reason I gave it a thumbs up. I feel like his performance last night had enough of an impact on the entire show to give it one thumbs up.
And he's from the UK too.
He's from the UK. Cool. It's a perfect thing. All right, well, that's going to be our show.
Thanks for watching. I wish Raw could just stop being so goddamn predictable. That's all I ask. Just give us something completely crazy. Have Kofi Kingston versus Luke Harper for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
And have Bischoff be the guest referee.
Hell yes! Eric Bischoff back as the GM. I don't care.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Always got to subscribe.
Follow us on Tweeters. We didn't tweet last night. We got flight delayed from Orlando. Like us on Facebook. Until next week, we are 2 guys, 1 belt.
2 guys in that belt.
This one.
And... by God, we're going to do more videos. Just WWE's got to step their shit up, and we'll step our shit up.